Aloha friends, this is Tito Kang coming to you on this edition of Unlock the Leader's Code. Today I'm throwing a little premise to you. What if leaders led adults like toddlers? Would that work? Let's think about it a bit more. The first reaction you might get would be, what are you talking about, Tito? That wouldn't work. Of course it wouldn't work. But let's dive down a little bit into this situation. Now remember, if you ever had a child, or if you knew someone who had a child, and you taught that child to walk the first time. Let's go through the steps of what you did, right? Did you go over to them and say, hey, kid, you gotta put the left foot and the right foot and the left foot and the right foot. And you gotta have about, I don't know, I only have a limited amount of time here, so I'm gonna give you about 3 weeks to learn how to do this. And in 3 weeks, if you can't get this done, that means that, kiddo, you're just not meant to walk. Really, you are not meant to walk. And then you come back about a week later and you notice the kid's still trying to wobbly, standing up, and you say, you know, you're not getting this, you're not getting this. Let me take you in and then let me put you on my feet. And here, I'll teach you how to walk. Just go on my feet and start, like, you see, I'll walk for you actually. Why don't I just walk for you? It'll be easier for me to get from point A to point B. Why this, you know what, let me carry you. That's what you would do to a child that's learning to walk, wouldn't you? Of course. You're looking at me going like, you're crazy, Tito. That's not what I do. Actually, it's not what adults do when they teach a new toddler how to learn to walk. So let me ask you this. If you're a leader of a team and organization, or if you lead your families, as your child gets older, how do you start coaching them, teaching them? Do you use what you used to do before? Now, the real way that you've gone about teaching your child to walk, or any kid to walk, you'll say, you know what? You can't do this. You just got to stand up and just wobbly, and yes, you're going to give them direction, left foot, right foot, or right foot, left foot, whatever works best for you. And then you're going to say, just keep going. You're standing up them, and you're putting yourself at their level, and you say, you can do this, you can do this. Because inside of you, you know it's possible. Inside of you, you have in your mind's eye envision the child walking because you've done it yourself. Now, the child might stumble and fall, hurt herself, and cry, and you would say what? You would say, that's okay, you got this. Let me just show you what you did wrong here, and let's get back up again. Let's get into it. Let me show you how. Let's correct this time. Let's correct this way. That's what you would do, wouldn't it, if you were teaching or coaching a toddler how to walk. That coaching is how leaders lead, how effective leaders lead. Now, when I see leaders getting into their role for the first time, or I see leaders getting frustrated because they're not getting the results, they revert right back to leading and coaching adults. Here's the amount of time you need to get this done. If you don't get it done by this time, that means you can't get it done. So I'm going to find somebody else to get it done instead of you. Are you familiar with that? Is that something that resonates with you? Maybe you yourself have gone and put yourself in that situation. Now, if you started leading adults, coaching adults like you were coaching toddlers, and I don't mean this by you were demeaning them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just thinking about that you had the belief, like you had the belief in a toddler when you look at them and said, hey, you can do this. You would look at your learner. You would look at the people that you led. Let me show you how you can do this. And as they go through it, you let them fail forward. You allow them the space to adapt. You add on more instructions as they go along. And inside yourself, in your mind's eye, the leader believes that whomever she is coaching or teaching can see it. They see the learner further before than the learner can see themselves. Amidst all the heartaches, the trials and tribulations, of course, the leader will say you never, ever, 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 ever give up. So how come some leaders give up? on the people they coach and lead? How come leaders look at the learner rather than themselves and adjust their way of coaching or leading? Because the first stage of leadership is leadership of self, first and foremost. If your learner is not getting it the first time, the second time, is it the learner or is it you as a leader? That's the biggest question. And the biggest question ends with, how long do you do it for? How long is enough? Well, that's another code we have to unlock at another time. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please like, share, and comment. What if leaders led adults like toddlers? Would that work for you? Love to hear your comments. Love to hear what you have to say. You might disagree, you might agree, I don't know. But exchange with me. I look forward to hearing from you. This is Tito saying, lead on, and as always, aloha, mahalo, make every day BAMDIGIOUS, and here's to your prodigious success.